Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. All right. Alrighty then. So, with that, well, we're in the middle of the week, everybody. Hump day, Wednesday. So, hopefully, everybody's had a good week thus far. We, of course, are going to, as we wait for more people to show up, I'm going to go off camera for a quick second, take care of some things. And then when I get back, we'll go over what's on tap for tonight. So, put some music on while we wait. Um, I'll be right back. All right. So, hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week thus far. So, we're now just past, well, like we're at 2.5 minutes coming up now. So, anyways, I'll tidbit here. All right. So, as we're coming up now on 3 minutes here. So, here's what's on tap for tonight. I'm going to go over just one article again from Bleeding Fool. Then we will also got the wrestling wrap up. And it's coming out not just WWE but AEW and NWA, as well as doing this day in each history. So, anyways, with all that being said and done here, why don't we go ahead and get started on our let's do one more thing here. To get started. Hey, so with that, go ahead. All right, so we got a couple of people in here now, so that's good. Hey, Jr. And of course, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated as well. Hail Xenu and hail Lord Xenu and Lady Xena. Peace be upon them. All right. With that, so why don't we go ahead and get to our first, our lone story of the night here, our lone article, which will be about DC Comics going to returning to San Diego Comic Con this weekend. So let's get going with that. DC Comics returning to San Diego Comic Con this week. Article by John Pallister published earlier today. So DC announced last week their return to Comic Con International San Diego, also known as DCC, with a new DC booth on the convention show floor from Wednesday, July 19th, which is today, through Sunday, July 23rd. San Diego Comic Con provides the perfect platform for DC to connect with fans, showcase exciting content, and celebrate the power of DC storytelling. Of course, one of the other more controversial things we've been hearing about too is that they're also planning on pushing a lot of their LGBTQIA plus agenda as well at the con here. So, or the whole alphabet agenda as we come to know it. Whether you're looking for the most binge-worthy comics and TV shows, the toys and collectibles that you absolutely must have, feature films, or just the most amazing cosplay on the planet, you'll find it where DC and San Diego Comic Con come together for their fans. With a can't miss lineup of panels, talent signings, and interactive experiences, DC is set to deliver an unforgettable weekend of programming. Fans can look forward to engaging directly with their favorite creators by attending in booth signings, including an appearance by DC President, Publisher, and Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee, not to be confused with our friend James Lee, of course, who's writing the Steins book, and award-winning comic book creator, founder, and CEO of McFarlane Toys, Guinness World Record holder, and Grammy and Emmy Award winner Todd McFarlane, and more. Todd McFarlane, of course, known for probably known best for his work on Spawn. Fans can also immerse themselves in the DC universe during a world premiere screening of Justice League War World, and discover what lies ahead for their beloved DC characters during panels featuring Joshua Williamson, I guess is writing Superman, Josh Trujillo, who's involved with Blue Beetle, Tom King, boo, who's involved with Wonder Woman, Tom Taylor, boo, who's involved with Titans, Mitch Gerads, not member in the Bold, Nicola Scott, involved in Titans, Teenie Howard, he's involved with Catwoman, Ram V, Detective Comics, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Action Comics, Nicole Maines, Bad Dream, A Dreamer Story, Sheena Gray, Superman, The Harvest of Youth, and more. As we've been talking about, of course, the reason I was saying boo to some of them, because we know that some of them were really pushing certain agenda things hard. So, anyways, on sale in DC's booth will be a wide variety of comic books, graphic novels, and new merchandise from DC and DC Shop. Below is a list of DC San Diego Comic Con signings at DC booth number 4645, with more to be announced. So Thursday or tomorrow, July 20th, from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., Jeremy Adams and Joshua Williamson. From 12:30 to 1:30 tomorrow, Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. There's a double star. Now, why there's a double star there, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll see in a moment once we get down a little further. From 3 to 4 o'clock tomorrow, Raphael Grandpa and Teenie Howard. And from 4 to 5, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. On Friday, Jim Lee with a double star again from 10 to 11 a.m. 12 to 1, Justice League, the War World filmmakers. So those who are involved in making the film of War World will be doing an autograph signing from 12 to 1 on the 21st. From 1 to 2, Teenie Howard and Tim Sheridan. From 2 to 3, Ram V and Joanne Sterer. Jeremy Adams from 3 to 4. And then from 4 to 5, Tom King and Mitch Gerads. Again with a double star there. I hope they'll explain what that double star means, but double asterisk or what have you. See if, and of course, this is for those who are going to be down in San Diego, want to go to the event there. Um, Saturday, July 22nd, from 10 to 11, Jim Benton and Jeffrey Brand will be at the booth. From 11 to 12, Sina Grace and Josh Trujillo. From 12:30 to 1:30, it will be Tom King and Mitch Gerard, again with a double star. Joshua Williamson from 2 to 3. From 4 to 5, DC Universe Infinite event, Raphael Grandpa and special guest. And then 5:30 to 6:30, Bat Cow Holder exclusive event. Bat Cow Holder exclusive event with Jim Lee. The double star event there. Let's see. And they don't exactly tell us what the double star means here. Let's see if we can. Yep. Don't know what that means, but. All right, so let's see. On Sunday, July 23rd, of course, 10 to 10:45 a.m., be Penelope and Jerry Gaylord. Nicole Maines at another double star from 1 to 2. 2 to 3, Jennifer Murrow and Thomas Krajewski. So that's about as much as we got for that, I guess. That article didn't take as long as quite as long there, but I was gonna. Let's see. I think I'll do that tomorrow. See if we can. Let's see. Could do the. Well, I guess I could do the indie comic showcase right now, since we do have plenty of time here. It looks like. I think I'll do that one next then. It should take up a good chunk of time here. Usually does. All right, so Indie Comic Showcase number 231. So this is going to be our next article we're going to go over. The Indie Comic Showcase. So Indie Comic Showcase number 231, King Cryptid, Discord, and Outlaw Nights article by Chris Braley, published, I guess, within the last few minutes, because this wasn't up earlier, so I made my choices here. But we can go ahead and go through it here. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people here. Also, and thank you, RJ. I see you there. Look at that. RJ posted something for everybody. Indie Comics. Here's a new one that's funding featuring our favorite hero, the Clock. Okay. So you got that thing going now, huh, RJ? Good for you. As always, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. Also, if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. But anyways, let's go ahead and do this Indie Comic Showcase here. So welcome back to another installment of Indie Comic Showcase, the weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle. And of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and followers. Or, of course, you can always come to my channel when I do it on Wednesday or Thursday. And I go over the article as well, help get the word out as well. So you can always do that. Anyways, on Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, and tell you how you can check out the product for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. So the first book he highlighted here was Peter Simeti's King Cryptid. Oh, look at that. Whoa. White Mountain Blizzard Battle. Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Peter. What's your elevator pitch for King Cryptid? Peter Simeti. King Cryptid is an ongoing monster and mystery comic book series for readers of all ages. With over 100 issues planned, this series documents the adventures of New England's supernatural hero, King Cryptid, and all who cross his path. Every issue feels and smells like a classic. Smells. I didn't know you could smell a comic. Oh. Hold on a sec, guys. I forgot to do something. I once again forgot to do something. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some music on while I'm gone. I'll be right back. You got to do something. Yeah, once again, I forgot to turn off the do not disturb or turn on the do not disturb part of my phone. Oh boy, one of these days, I am eventually gonna get into the habit of doing that. Hopefully, anyways. Listen, my old age, I get so senile, I don't know what in the world I'm doing. Just kidding. Anyways, let's get back to the article here. King Crypt and all who every issue feels and smells like a classic, as we were talking about, as they feature glossy covers with newsprint interiors and an episodic storytelling style. So I guess the idea of fresh newsprint, I guess, is why they're saying it smells. Yeah. So, anyways, for the last time, as it says on the road there. Chris, tell me how you came up with this story. Peter, I've always had a fascination and love of all things paranormal and supernatural. Centering the series around a cryptid humanoid with supernatural powers, always me. Okay, I think that's supposed to say allows, not always. I think allows me to fully explore this world. Okay, I think there's a typo there, or just a wrong word usage, maybe. These elements of historical fiction and paranormal history throughout the series, as each episode is self contained while also being a part of the larger long running story arc. Chris, what kind of comic readers is this aimed at? Peter, people that love monsters, mysteries, cover ups, and conspiracies will really love this series. For those that are also looking for action and adventure, I think they'll really enjoy the layers of myths, legends, and the paranormal from Alterna Comic there. They got a bit of a, I don't know if that's supposed to be a witch or a goth girl up there. Chris, tell our readers a little about your comics background, Peter. Peter, I've been active in comics for 17 years as the founder and publisher of Alterna Comics. We published well over 400 individual issues and graphic novels in that time, including a New York Times bestseller, 2012, in parentheses, Fubar, Empire of the Rising Dead. I'm also a writer, artist, letterer, and editor, most likely known for creating and compiling, quote, It Came Out on a Wednesday, and for creating and writing The Chair, quote unquote, a psychological horror thriller on death row that got turned into a film starring Roddy Piper. Wow, interesting. Cry of the Yeti. Chris, you've got numerous artists on this title. Who's who? Peter, several artists helped bring King Cryptid to life. Christian Rossi is the artist on issue 1 and colorist on 4, 5, and 9. Nick Hunter is the artist on issue 2, 5, and 7. Alex Jovic is the artist on issues 3 and 8. Care Covington is the artist on issue 4 and 9. Issues 4 and 9. And Frankie B. Washington is the artist on issue 6. Wow, a lot of people doing a lot of different things. Quite a group there, huh? Hmm. All right. What's the production workflow? So Chris asks, what's the production workflow like on this batch of comics? Peter, it takes about a year to complete 4 to 5 issues from script to printed comic. Chris, what are some tips you've learned from self-publishing crowdfunding from your experience? Peter, actively engaging the crowd is so important. Being sure to be responsive, enthusiastic, and knowledgeable about the stories and products you're creating really goes a long way. If you're not excited about bringing your project to life, no one else is going to be either. And that's a common answer. I've seen a number of guys featured on here give that same answer, that same question, right? I've seen that answer at least a couple of times. I think that's a pretty common answer for that. Chris, what are your plans beyond this book? Are there more stories to tell? Peter, absolutely. I can create issues for the rest of my life. Reader willing, we'll get to 100 issues over the course of the next 20 years. And then we'll keep building and building. I've got a ton of characters, stories, and worlds to create. And I'm sure not just reader willing, but his own health. Hopefully he can stay healthy and vital enough to be able to publish all that. Chris, any special features in this book? In parentheses, or if crowdfunding special perks or tiers. Peter, sure. We've got glow in the dark T-shirts, trading cards, collector boxes, a short box, stickers, patches, all kinds of exclusive items as well. The King Cryptid campaigns are always busting at the seams with perks and bonuses for backers. Also, since King Cryptid's powers increase and decrease with the phases of the moon, we do something fun on the campaign by having exclusive perks offered on the full moon and new moon each month. Wow. Chris, anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Peter, I want to let them know that the campaign is available to back on both Indiegogo and directly on the Alterna site. On the Alterna site, they can back the campaign while also having access to over 400 other items on the Alterna store. So if they're looking for a one-stop shop, the Alterna site is the place to go. Chris, thanks, Peter. This looks good. This looks great. And also for the great comics coming out from Alterna. All right, so the next one here. Let's see if anybody's. No, we don't have anything new as of yet. All right. As always, guys, feel free to, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything catches your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. And we got JR saying, hail RJ. The mirror force is in effect there, right, guys? Anyways, the next feature here, the next part of this article. See, Outlaw Knights, Genesis of a Renegade, Part 2. Article by Benjamin S. Fuselier. Here we go. There we go. Chris Braley. Welcome to ICS, Benjamin. What's Outlaw Knights Genesis of a Renegade about? Benjamin Fuselier. Cyrus Lawson finds himself caught up in the underworld of the 31st century. Can he adapt to the pirate's life? Will he survive the ultimate rat race? Chris, what's the origins of this comic? Guess the guy's name is Brian, right? Or Benjamin. Benjamin. I conceptualized this a long time ago, around 15 years or so. I was inspired by my love of the concept of space pirates, but the subpar presentation and execution of them in media. I was also inspired by POTC and I guess it's Pirates of the Caribbean and pirate stories. So I could also see him maybe Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, among other, those are the anime mangas. Let's see. Oh. What kind of so Chris asked, what kind of readers is the book aimed at? Benjamin, fans of space operas, genre blending, westerns, gun action, cyberpunk, intrigue, alcohol, and sexy people, ages 16 and up. 16 and up, which means he feels that those who are 16 years old would be able to handle the material then, So, Chris, what can you tell us about your creative process and how you developed it? And please tell me about your creative team. Benjamin. Um, I was trained in classic storytelling in college. My process is very base and organic, simply imagining methodically and being very OCD. For those who don't know what that is, it's obsessive compulsive disorder. Our interior art is being done by Juanito Arcori. Aquari. Um, our colors are being done by Marcos Martin, and our lettering is being done by obscure unknown letterer Eric Weathers. Oh, look at that female right there. She's gonna grab some attention. And Chris, what's the production workflow like? And if it's not complete, how far along is the book? Benjamin, depends on the artist I'm working with. I make sure I have a script ready for them, and I meticulously make notes to ensure the work is at 100%. Not to mention matches my vision, um, or in parentheses, or exceeds it, depending in parentheses there. Chris, what have you been learning from self-publishing, crowdfunding, and creating through this process? Benjamin, to roll with the punches. I've been humbled by failing to fund a couple times. It has tested my patience, but I am pushing forward in my resolve. We will be launching on I guess FMZ Fund My Comic in mid to late July. All right. I'm sure Benjamin will find himself on RJ's show soon enough as well. That's the case. Chris, what are your plans beyond this book? Are there more stories to tell? Benjamin, this is issue 2 of about 8 to 10 issues. We are building a universe I would love to tell more stories about. I'm also working on a fantasy epic, slowly but surely. So, got himself quite busy there. Chris asked, any special features in this book? And in parentheses, or if crowdfunding, special perks, or tiers? Benjamin, we're offering posters and in in parentheses here, hopefully chibi stickers. I will add more products in parentheses, figures, etc. as time goes on, and hopefully large page counts in parentheses need more funding. I think, Chris, anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Benjamin, I am determined. I am reliable. I am here for you. Sorry to sound like a used car salesman. I have added all of the awesomeness you could desire in this story. And we will be back in July. You can't get rid of me that easily. Chris, haha, thanks and good luck, Ben. All right. Let's see. Before we get the last comic being featured here in this article, let's see if anybody's saying anything yet or any comments coming in. Or no, nothing new now. All right. All right. So with that, Discord, Atlanta's guardian angel of music, #1, article by C.S. Johnson. All right, or not article, but author C.S. Johnson. So, oh wait, what am I doing? Prefer to do it over here. Alright, so let's get back to this. Some interesting artwork here. Chris Braley. Welcome to Indie Comics Showcase, CS. CS Johnson. Um, After losing his dad, 16-year-old Stephen Kibwa gains the ability to hear the music inside each human soul, allowing him to sense their emotions, see their past memories, and even manipulate their mood. I wonder if RJ actually had this guy on recently because this sounds kind of familiar. I'd heard about this before. Um, Using his new gifts, he vows to carry on his father's legacy and bring his killer to justice. Following 10 years of training and preparation, he finally gets his chance as his dad's killer, a notorious human trafficker, returns to the. I think RJ did have this guy on his channel recently. Only RJ, of course, can confirm that. Confirm that for sure. Anyways, continuing on here. Chris, where did the idea for this comic come from and made you decide to self publish it? CS. Um, there's always a mix of things when it comes to my stories. This one was a bit of a dare, but also a bit of a dream. I saw the Miles Morales Thor What If comic and figured I could write a better black character and one that was original. I also thought it would be fun to see how a superhero story would look like if it were set down in Atlanta as opposed to New York. From there, it's not hard to see that there's a huge problem in our city with human trafficking. Atlanta itself has a lot of diversity. We're an international hub, and we have a long history as well here. When I think of history, I think of family and the sacrificial love that comes from those ties. And from there, I think of music. Music here is a way of life for many, but it also ties into family, faith, and community and identity. So my hero has musically based superpowers where he's able to hear the song inside each person's soul. In parentheses, the theological connections on this make me so happy, on parentheses. And there are a few other surprising things he's able to do with his power set, too. I decided to self publish it largely because I am my own publisher for my own work. I didn't know what to expect since this is my first comic. And since I am working with my own set of contracted artists, I didn't want a publisher to be left hanging on for months at a time while the comic was being created and put together. Plus, there's a lot more room for freedom with it when you know you get to decide everything. You have free reign on a project. It's more personal, but not in the self insert sort of way. A la Whoopi Goldberg, right? You guys remember that one? The menopausal superhero? Uh, since I'm a good writer, haha. But it's also more universal. The things we love most always find their way into our creations, and I enjoy being just as surprised by some of it as my audience is. Chris, that's fascinating. Tell me who the story is aimed at. CS. I write for myself first, so I am writing something that I will share with my kids and my family and friends, in parentheses, most of whom ironically don't read my work, in parentheses. It's suited for adults as well as mature teenagers and up. My son enjoys the bloody shots, but they're minimal. But I don't get overly graphic at some as some would probably prefer, since my daughter likes the pretty pictures and wants people to be happy. Now that's cute. That's very cute and sweet right there. Yeah, kind of finding the balance between the his son wanting more action adventure and his daughter wanting to be kind of real nice and sweet. So that's nice and cute there. Now, as we continue on here with the article, let's see. Inform our readers on your writing experience. Chris asked. CS. I've been an award-winning author for 10 years now. My writing is very avant-garde, with my love of literary fiction, clearing, trying to sneak in at every plot twist, and I enjoy doing the unexpected and making connections across genres. I am more of a character driven novelist, so I started by building up Stephen's character and what kind of life experience he's had that would influence his life, and what kind of support system he has around him. Knowing the setting, living through the current year as I am in Atlanta, also helps since I see a lot of issues and I want to help people talk about them without being accusatory or broad stroked, and maybe not so boring either. Haha. Chris, talk about your creative team that contributed to this project. CS. I'm happy to say that Light Comic Studio was more than happy to help me out. They have a history of creating both comics and manga, so it was a really good fit for me since I grew up on manga more than comics. They're all really great, and I highly recommend working with them. Chris, what have you been learning from self-publishing through this process? CS, I've been doing indie publishing for years, so it wasn't too hard to switch from novels to comics with that process. The crowdfunding has been a lot more intimidating, from quote best guess, best practices unquote to quote I've done this awfully wrong unquote. I'm certain um, I'll only learn from failing multiple times. Um, but on the bright side, I have met so many people who are willing to help me out, and I feel so blessed because of that. Hey, Rondo! Uh, Chris, are there more stories to tell in this particular universe you've created? Um, CS, Discord will definitely get a few issues. I hope to have 5 to 7 issue run. Parentheses. There's a bigger plot twist I'm considering, so we'll see. Parentheses with this one. I'd really love to see his development after the series' initial challenges, from becoming a hero to becoming a husband and father, and what the future there holds. For example, life in general is very mundane and full of drudgery. For every step on the high point of a mountain, there are 1,000 in the valley. I think it would be very uplifting to see once more that, contrary to this postmodern nihilistic age, that heroism can translate well into marriage, fatherhood, family, and even the workforce. Hmm. Let's see. Chris is asking, any special features in this book? In parentheses, or if crowdfunding special perks or tiers? On parentheses. CS, I have a light novel adaptation coming for the book, as well as an audiobook, and there are some special features in the book about human trafficking in Atlanta itself. Sounds like this guy's got his own, Sound of Freedom style comic coming there. Chris, anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? CS, thank you so much for your time and consideration. I really hope my readers will enjoy it. Chris, glad to see you on here. CS, good luck with this campaign. And in closing here, that's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly comic, click here. And follow Indie Comics Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics and reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding comic projects. Until next time, support Indie Comics. And of course, as you guys know, I also will feature the articles here on my channel too. So some more ideas of getting the word out, as it were. With that, let's see where we're at on time here. 47 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna start heading now to now I'm gonna go ahead and start looking at a wrestling wrap up here. Get through some news items here, as it were. All right. So first off, in WWE news, on last night's NXT show, Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day defeated Wesley for the NXT North American Championship. Now, there are a couple of reasons why WWE decided to put a title on him. One is because, of course, Nick Khan has been trying to push, trying to elevate NXT from just simply being a development brand to like a third brand of the WWE, much like SmackDown, and trying to put it on equal terms with like SmackDown and Raw, as opposed to being a. That's why you've been seeing more of the main roster talents going back down. The guys like Baron Corbin, Mustafa Ali, even Seth Rollins recently defending the Raw, the World Heavyweight title on NXT against Braun Breaker a few weeks ago. Also, they wanted to give Dominic a chance to hone his singles wrestling career. He's been pretty protected, been part of the Judgment Day and been a big part of the program with them. Been pretty protected in terms of staying in, being involved in tag matches or going up against guys who are just very good workers, like his dad, like Cody Rhodes. So now they want to give him a chance to develop by working with other talent and maybe helping him to work through his way to learn how to carry other people. So, and again, as everything is, as SummerSlam is coming up just a little over 2 weeks away here, about 2.5 weeks away. On, I believe it's Saturday, August 5th. In SummerSlam, they're starting to really push more and more of the storylines. Now, moving on to AEW news, tonight's Dynamite, of course, the main event is seeing the Blood and Guts match, which is basically a very, you got two teams locked inside of a double steel cage. I think it's very like WCW working. Tonight's Blood and Guts match will feature three members of the Blackpool Combat Club of Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta teaming with Konosuke Takeshita and Pac take on the Golden Elite of course, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Kota Ibushi. Also in the Blind Eliminator Tag Title final, Adam Cole and MJF take on the Jericho Appreciation Society duo of Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. You also have Hook defending the FTW title against Jack Perry. In another match, you'll see Dr. Britt Baker taking on Kayla Sparks. So that's all of the AEW news we have for you. And then on the NWA front, on last night's Power, of course, you had both men's and women's television titles defended as Tom Latimer and Kenzie Page both had successful title defenses. Tom Latimer against Mario Padua, and Kenzie Page against Samantha Starr, third generation Star, the daughter of Baby Doll. Also in a match to set up a match for night one of upcoming NWA anniversary show, you had two matches in a basically a mini tournament for the number one contendership to the U.S. United States NWA United States tag team titles. As in one match you had Daisy Kill and Talos defeat Magic Inc. of Magic Jake Dumas and Cody James, winning one match, and then the other match being the Fixers of Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky defeating the Spectaculars of Rush Freeman and Brady Pierce. Now the two winners of those matches, of course, will face off each other in the finals of this tournament on night one of the anniversary show coming up on August 26th. The weekend of August 26th and 27th, NWA will be hosting its anniversary show from the Chase Park Plaza in St. Louis. Of course, the traditional home of NWA St. Louis shows from back years ago. Night one will be the finals of the tournament, and night two, the winner of the finals will be taking on the Country Gentlemen for the United States title. We'll mention some other matchups too. Colby Corino, second generation star of former NWA World Champion Steve Corino, defeated Alex Shelley. He'll be going to the anniversary show to face Kerry Morton for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title. Also signed for NWA anniversary show on the 26th and 27th, you have Tyrus defending the NWA World Championship against EC3, who relinquished the NWA National Heavyweight title on last week's episode of Power in order to get the shot at Tyrus. You will also see on night one, you will see La Rebellion defending the NWA World Tag Team Championship against Blunt Force Trauma, or now commonly known as BFT, with Aaron Stevens their corner, Vampiro B, and La Rebellion. The winner of that match will be defending the titles against Knox and Murdoch, the Crockett Cup winners, on night two. Camille is also signed to defend the NWA World Women's title against Natalia Markova on night one. So that's all the wrestling news we have for you. So now let's get to today being Wednesday, July 19th, 2019 or 2023. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. History. Oops, did I? Yeah, I did that again, didn't I? '93. Oh yeah, it's 1973. Sometimes I can be a bit of a goober. Let me see now. Just kind of gotta go back and find what I was looking for here. Yeah, there we go. There it is right there. All right, so 73, 93, 2003, and then 2018. Okay. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and finish things up here. Let's go through these. Um, so first off, we're going to head back 50 years ago today, back to 1973. On this date in 1973, the 20th issue of Star Trek from Gold Key Comics went on sale on this date back in 1933. It was 20 cents at the time, 32 pages. So on this date, 50 years ago today, the 20th issue Star Trek went on sale on this date in 1973. And now getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history here. On this date in 1993, 30 years ago today, the anime, the Irresponsible Captain Tyler would air it would finish its first run on this date in 1993. So on this date in 1993, the final episode of Tatsunoko's productions, The Irresponsible Captain Tyler, would air its first run on Tokyo TV. So there we go with that. Moving on ahead to 2003, 20 years ago today. On this date in 2003, the first episode of Teen Titans aired on Cartoon Network. On this date, 20 years ago today, the the debut episode of Teen Titans would air on Cartoon Network. And finally, on this date 5 years ago today, luchador legend Rayo de Jalisco Sr., that's basically the King of Thunder Sr., Maximino Max Linares Moreno, passed away at the age of 86. He was, of course, a tag partner of El Santo. He was a three-time NWA World Middleweight Champion. So on this date, 5 years ago today, Triple A Hall of Famer Rayo de Jalisco Sr. passed away at the age of 86. So there we go with that. I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. And don't forget, of course, this Friday, RJ Carter will be joining me, and we'll be looking back at comics that went on sale in November of 1939 from Centaur Comics, David McKay. And with that, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.